Hello, everyone. Welcome to Financeology 101. Class is now in session. The information provided during this podcast is just that, information. You will need to do further research to address your specific situation. Enjoy the session. Welcome, everyone, to another session of Gifted Generation Presents Financeology 101, and our topic today will be everything regarding 401k. I'm your host, Robin Seegers, and my husband is your host as well, Elroy Seegers.
Yep.
And our special guest is Miss Tina Smith. She's the founder, president of the Financial T Coaching and Consulting Firm. She's a financial coach. She's a financial mentor. She's an author. She wrote the book, It's Your Turn, Walk in Your Financial Purpose. Welcome back,
Great
Tina.
book. Great book.
Hey, everybody. I'm really glad that we are able to get on today. We got a hot topic. I'm so excited about this. I think there's so many myths about an employer-sponsored system. So I think, the things that we'll talk about today will really help clear up the air and reduce any anxiety about participating in the employer-sponsored plan, normally known as 401k, but this includes 403b, 457, LMNOP, TSP, all that. So I am excited today.
I'm a TSP man, so hey.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Elroy.
So, I was going to ask you, do you want to mention anything about your website, anything like that, Tina?
Oh no, I'll wait to the end because we got some good nuggets today.
Okay.
But
I just want to make sure everyone knows Tina is certified, qualified. She's not no running away person. She has her own business, and you can work in all 50 states. Is that correct, Tina?
That is correct. So I am federally licensed.
There you go.
So it's really, really exciting to be able to help across not only state borders, but even across seas. So I'm really excited to be able to help our men and women in arms overseas. So I'm really excited about being able to help them too. So it's an exciting time to be the Financial T Coaching and Consulting Firm president.
Yeah. And great partnership. We formed probably about a year now, Tina. So
I think so.
Yeah, about a year.
It's been great.
All right. So my friend Tommy said he can't put in a message. Tommy, if you want to send me the message, I will repeat your question for you. So Tina.
Hey, Tommy.
So you can't type it in. So Tina, where do we start with so many options to get in 401ks and the misunderstanding? I mean, if you had to debunk one myth, what would be the first myth that you would try to debunk or you would want to start on?
Well, again, thank you guys for having me. It's always a pleasure to have you guys, host. You guys are gracious hosts, and I really appreciate the commentary that we have. The very first myth that I would like to dispel, though, is my employer or my job is just taking money from my check, and I don't know where it's going. Okay, let's peel back some onion layers about that one. Though it may be true that your job or your employer is taking money from your check, it is for good reason. Now, I'm not talking about federal taxes, state taxes, your health benefits, or your vision dental.
Right.
There might be a line on your pay statement that says 401k or 457B. I'm sorry, 457 or 403B. Or TSP, and pay attention to the amount next to that. Normally, that's the amount where they are, quote unquote, taking money from your check. It's not going to you today, but it will go to you tomorrow. So there is a very good reason why that money is coming out. The key, though, is that you can control, number one, how much, and number two, where the money is going as far as where it's going to be invested within that employer's system. Right. So the myth is they're taking money from my check. Yes, but they're actually taking money from your check so you don't go blow it. and
Yeah.
that it's being put aside for you for after you retire from that employer. So I hope that dispels myth number one.
Yeah. Do you find a lot of clients that, when you first started working with, do you find they struggle with actually trying to, for companies that either they match it or don't match it? Do you see them struggling with just wanting just to start a simple 401k, TSP, or 403b, or whatever other numbers and alphabets you were seeing earlier? Is that a struggle for most people that that when you first start working with them?
I think the struggle isn't the fact that the money is being taken. The struggle is the lack of knowledge of how it is being
Okay.
used.
Okay.
As far as the matching goes, what I find is that there's chatter at the water cooler per se. Now, naturally,
Mhm.
there are a lot of us rather who maybe not go to the actual employer site anymore and
Mhm.
can chat around the proverbial water cooler. But
Mhm.
there's still some chatter about, hey, what you need to be doing is 10%. You need to be doing, 5%. You need to be doing. And so there's some, what us military folk would call barracks lawyers, if you will.
Mhm.
There might be some folks who are providing advice that might not be licensed, but they're kind of just sharing some information about what they're doing.
Right.
Now, what they're doing might not be the same as what you need to be doing.
Right.
So let's take 55-year-old George. 55-year-old George says, this is what I'm doing to 25-year-old Jacqueline.
Okay.
What 55-year-old George is doing as far as his contributions to the 401k might not need to be Jacqueline at 25.
Right.
The person who's going to turn 65 first is George. George
Mhm.
may be a little bit more conservative. George may be like, okay, now I've already built my million over here. I need to protect my million.
Right.
25-year-old Jacqueline is just starting. So there's
Right.
nothing to protect just yet, if that makes sense. So
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
the struggle more so is, just not understanding, how it is being invested for them.
Right. And that's something that you all also do. You help people to sit down to get them a better understanding of the ins and outs of those things once they come to you. Am I correct by saying that?
That is absolutely correct. And
Mm.
what I do is I help go through a client's 401k. Sometimes, they log in, they're sharing their screen, and I'm able to help them find different pieces of information, about their 401k. And especially
Okay.
for the young career starters, you want to get into this game popping immediately. You want to say, wow, I've only been here a year and I've already got this much because somebody helped me start the
Right.
proper way at the very beginning. And
Right.
so please know that the plan administrator is different
Mhm.
than the financial coach. The plan administrator is the person that you call on the 1-800 number and say, hey, I want to make some changes. That person that is on the customer service line of your employer sponsored plan will tell you how to make said changes, but they cannot advise you on
Okay.
what changes may be right for you. You
Okay.
are going in and saying, hey, well, George is doing this, so I better do that too.
Okay.
That strategy that George is using might not be the right for you. And that plan administrator can't tell you one way or another. They can just
Okay.
tell you how to administratively change some things.
Okay.
Whereas, someone like me, a financial planner and financial coach, I help you determine what strategies are right for you. I appreciate George's advice, but George's
Right.
advice is different than what the 25-year-old Jacqueline maybe should be doing, as far as risk tolerance, as far as opportunity for growth. So we definitely want to make sure that everybody has their own formula and strategy going in to their 401k system. That way, we're able to optimize from the very, very beginning.
Okay.
Okay, I have a question, Elroy. So Tina, so say if I'm that 25-year-old, and of course I don't have a clue what a 401k, 403b, I don't understand. I don't know nothing about it.
Mm-hmm.
And then I come to you, explain to me, or tell me how you would explain um, what the 401k is and how it works. I mean, lay the groundwork so as a
Sure.
25-year-old me, I understand what I'm getting into.
That's great. So what I would tell, a young 25-year-old Robin is there are benefits of you being an employee to, whatever employer you have. One of the benefits that this employer gives you is an opportunity to put away now for retirement. The reason why you would want to put away now for retirement is because time is on your side. At 25 years old, you can't touch this money for another 33 and a half said, or 34 rather and a half or so years before you can start using these dollars. The best thing that you could do at a young age is put away what you can afford. As your income grows, invest more. As you get a pay raise, invest the pay raise. As you pay down or off a debt, you're able to allow these small contributions to grow over the next 34 years. And with that being said, we're able to allow that money to grow at a particular percentage. There are no promises or guarantees here. But the key is that as you're young, you want to be able to allow all those dollars to continue to grow. And because they're in a position of growth, the 401k system will also be able to make money for you. But there is risk. But if we are able to accept the risks going forward, then, these are dollars that you'll be able to have at retirement. You can use these dollars, for the things that you want to do versus the things that you have to do to get by.
Right. And a lot of
And,
that,
and so the 25-year-old me wondering, okay, they taking this money, where is it going? So are they investing it? Are they saving it or what?
The key to that is knowing where those dollars are going. It's best to be educated on the
right,
process. So it behooves everyone within a 401k system or an employer sponsored plan to go and find out how to log in to see what's going on.
right,
Most people, let's say this would be myth number two. Myth number two is, oh, my job's doing the investment for me. Not really. A lot of times what the job may do is put every employee in a default fund. Like,
Mm.
we're going to automatically put all our employees that don't make a selection into this fund right here, and now it's up to them.
right,
What people don't understand is that they can log into their 401k system and be able to make active changes. I always would recommend talking with a financial professional to see what changes each person should make. Again,
right,
George's advice might not be for you. So talk with a financial professional, find out what strategies are good for
right.
you at that particular point in time, how much your contribution should be, etc. And then you can go in and actively make changes. So
Right,
what I find is that most people know that it's going somewhere, but they don't know like how their dollars are performing, if they're
right,
losing money, if they're
right,
gaining money, and if so, how much, pulling quarterly statements. All of these things are very
right,
important that that way you can control and be able to see and be an active participant versus 20 years later and you're underwhelmed when you finally see what you have. You're like, oh,
yeah.
that's it.
And that's a key point
That's what you guys
because
have been doing for me.
when you said check it routinely, because I'm in the federal government and we have TSP and they
Mm-hmm.
do matching, and you have an
Yes.
option to go into your account to say 5%. They match it at 5%.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Mm-hmm.
and if you do a dollar amount versus doing a 5%. So let's say my 5% is $300, and then when
Mm-hmm.
you get a raise, now your $300 got to increase. I know someone forgot to go back in there for years to change that dollar amount. I've always said
Mm-hmm.
use the percentage amount because you can never
Absolutely.
go wrong.
Yes.
And when she went to go retire, she was like, where's the rest of my money? And I
Mm-hmm.
was like, you didn't check your stuff routinely? And the answer was no. So all
Yes.
these years they went by because she got all these raises and she just
Mm-hmm.
thought that it was increased with it. I was like, no, it only increases on the percentages, not the actual dollar amount.
Right.
So I
So if you have
concur.
a
You have
hundred,
to check that thing.
you have to. So I highly recommend exactly what you're saying. Always put a percentage. You can set it and forget it. At
Yeah.
5%, 5% will be different at $100,000 than at
Yes.
$115,000. The 5%
Yeah.
is different.
Yeah.
It's 5% now of the higher amount. That way, your pay raises are automatically
Yep.
incorporated in your
Incorporated. Mm-hmm.
contributions. And that's
Yep.
exactly what you want. You want to be able to start with what you have. Single people, hear me when I say this. Do your match, MATCH, as much as you can. When you're dating someone, that person needs to be on the same level as you. If they're saying, "Oh, child, no, I'm not putting in my foot," you need to walk away as quickly as possible. The reason why I say this is because
Dating over. They
that
have no
person,
vision.
no vision, have no idea the opportunities that are escaping them. And you don't
Right.
have time. Trust me, I've been in the dating game and I had the same conversation internally. Oh, they have no idea about life insurance. I'm out. So I can't with you. Because now I'm gonna have to explain to you why I think life insurance is important so that when I die, I'm not leaving you stranded and broke and now you have to go do a GoFundMe, right? So don't you need if you find somebody that is already on the same playing field, oh yes, I do my match MATCH as well. Okay, now we can talk because they're able to know what they're doing. And then when you guys come together, as husband and wife, no one has to explain anything. And then two, everybody already knows what the budget is like. So
Right.
it's like, hey, I'm already putting into my 401k. That money is not
Right.
to be touched. Now we have
Right.
this money left that we can budget
Right.
together. And
Right.
so, I always tell single people when you're on your game about finances,
Mm-hmm.
do not even entertain someone who is not even close to that level because you're going to pull a dead horse, like my husband's grandmother would say, and that's virtually impossible. So
Yeah.
I highly recommend that, you get educated. And, if there's somebody, in your life that may not be, as hip to the game, throw some nuggets at them and say, okay, yeah, we can do this. And if they're like absolutely turned off, that might be your cue to exit left.
Right. I heard you. So I know when it comes to 401ks, the investment thing, you got the ones, I want to talk about two things that you got the ones the company does. Some companies don't offer anything.
Yes.
What do you suggest to people where the companies don't offer anything? What do they do? Because my company don't offer 401k, don't offer TSP, don't offer this, 403b, but I want to be able to start a retirement fund. What should they do about that? Some people have
Absolutely.
private jobs, where they're self-employed. What do they do about those
Yes.
kind of things?
So you gave me a couple of layers here. So I'm going to take layer number one and then peel
Sure,
back
no
for layer
problem.
number two. So as an employee somewhere who does not offer employer-sponsored benefits, you can absolutely see a financial professional who is also an investment broker. Yours truly is one of those. And that person can introduce to you an individual retirement account. And that way you're able to put money away for your future. Now, in this case, you're annotating dollar amounts.
Right.
So at this time, if you're under age 50, the max you can do as an MAX, the max you can do is $6,000 a year, which equates to about $500 a month. If you're over 50, the maximum that you could do is $7,000. So you're adding another $100-ish dollars. Anyway, no,
Right.
88. You're adding another $88-ish a month. So even with that being said, if you can't do the maximum amount, start somewhere. In my firm, I always recommend doing at least $100. Depending upon the financial professional that you're talking to, they may ask that you come to the table with a lump sum. My particular firm don't ask that. If you're able to come with $100 a month, you're in. And so with that being said, you're able to start investing the $100 that you can afford. The next year, there may be a pay raise or a bonus or something like that. Then you can start to contribute more. But
Right.
just start. Please don't feel as if because you don't have, $500 or $588 to invest today that it's worthless. Absolutely not. I started with $50 a month. 50. And so as I got promoted, as my income increased, as my debt decreased, and now I had free money, I was able to eventually max as an MAX my contributions. Now I'm no longer an employee, but I now own my own company. So with that being said, I am continuing my contributions to my individual retirement account. And I do provide the maximum every month. My husband also provides the maximum every month. But see, I want to make sure that I'm clear here. This is something that has been over decades
Right.
worth of training. So we didn't start off at, maxing out. We did not do that. We started where we were. We worked down our obligations to spend as least as we can, so that ballooned our income as far as, our free dollars to disperse. And we decided to disperse that more to our retirement fund versus maybe, buying the biggest house on the block or buying, the most expensive car on the block. We said no to those things. And we decided to put more to our future. We want to be able to enjoy our retirement years.
Mm-hmm.
We want to be able to travel to wherever we want to go, or not. We want to be able to do nothing. But the key is that we want our money to make dollars while we sleep, while we sit on our back porch drinking iced tea, while whatever. So we decided earlier in our career to sacrifice those dollars. Now, if you are a self-employed person, you can also open your own 401k. I have not done this yet, only because I'm satisfied with my IRA and able to max that out, so I can do that. But if there's more dollars that I wanted to put in, and I can no longer put more money into my IRA because I am putting the most that I can per year, I can absolutely open my own 401k and put money over there too. Now, if I open my own 401k, it has the same parameters as if I worked for someone else. So that would be $19,500 a year. Under 50, over 50, you're looking at $26,000. So these are dollars that you could put more towards your retirement, even as a self-employed person. So I definitely wanted to make sure that I separated the fact that as an employee you can do this, and then as an employer you can do this and that.
And that over 50, let's call it what? Make-up contribution, right?
Yeah, catch up.
Yep, catch up. Okay.
Yep,
catch
like
up.
the condiment, ketchup. It's not spelled that way, but you get it.
Yeah. So I want to bring a very interesting points you're talking about long term, how you started so young. This is book by Chris Hogan. It's called Everyday Millionaire. And basically what they did, they surveyed 10,000 people. I think it was 10,000 people, the largest survey ever done. And they talked to everyday millionaires, not people who were, basketball stars. It wasn't that. It was the people you see in the stores. And one of the things he talked about, one of the comments, it says people have a misconception of how everyday people become millionaires. They think the money is handed down to them, legacy and stuff like that. I mean, it does happen. But he has a quote in his book. He says 79% of millionaires receive zero inheritance. Zero, which means only 21% receive an inheritance at all. And of that amount, it was less than $100,000. So that tells you that they're starting young, and getting into the 401k game, and they're doing longevity, which means you got to train yourself for the marathon, not the sprint.
And I think it's also important to make sure that you surround yourselves with folks who are educated enough, within that system to be able to help you along as you get started.
Most
in
definitely.
case you don't have a financial professional in your life, like I did at 25. Most 25-year-olds don't even know what a financial professional does. So with that being said, have somebody in your corner who is a mentor, a financial mentor to you. It could be somebody at the job. It could be a parent. It could be a grandparent, I've heard. It could be aunts, uncles, maybe a parent's friend or a friend of the family. But if you kind of have that spidey sense and you've heard some conversation about money and it sounded, like they were making sense, and you're like, okay, talk with them. I bet you they have a lot of information they would love to be able to share with you. But if we don't get out and ask those questions, we're not going to find the information. So absolutely, you want somebody in your ear, as soon as you start your career, because that's when the clock starts ticking.
Yes, it does.
Yes. So, if you're 25 years old and you want to stop working at 40, you only got 15 years to go. So you got to be hammering at home every month, and you have to be like laser focused on your goals, or it could slip away. And life happens, so things could slip away quite quickly if you're not focused.
Yeah, we trying, Tina. We out here, me and Rob out here beating the doors down. We're trying to
Yeah.
put the information out. We really are. And just hoping
Yeah,
people just use it wisely. And,
absolutely.
we're trying to do our part to educate the public and the people. People look like us and those who don't look like us. We're definitely trying to disseminate information, which is why we partner with you, because you are the professional. I'm the water cooler kind of guy.
You that Barry Club, like, John, what you need to be doing.
Yeah, that's me. That's me. I'm going to steer you in the right direction.
Right.
Like the commercial say, I did sleep at a Holiday Inn last night. That's about all you're going to get from me. But because I'm so in tune to it, I attend all the classes, all the seminars. I'm knowledgeable of it, but I'm not a professional like you, where I can say this is what I've learned, or you can say this is what I know.
Yes.
So two different things.
Yeah,
So
and I'm one of those professionals. It's a little bit of both. This is what I know, but this is also what I've learned, because
Right.
I've walked this walk for the past 21 years.
Wow.
As far as putting dollars away. Have mistakes been made? Absolutely.
Right.
But I'm telling you, when those mistakes are made, when you finally get tired of being sick and tired, nothing
Mm,
can turn you around. And
mm,
I got to that point. I started, again at 25, because I got tired of being sick and tired. Met my husband later on. We had a son later on, and then things happened. We got tired of being sick and tired together this time, and then we've been laser focused ever since. And
okay.
when you have that, nothing. When you're focused, there's nothing that can stop you but you.
Wow. All right. So I got another question for you.
Okay.
Before I read another question, I'm gonna give you another comment from Chris Hogan book, and I just found that I'm from the book stuff. I take a lot of notes. It says the number one contributing factor to millionaires is high net worth is investing in what? Retirement plans.
Mm-hmm.
Not a get rich quick scheme. Not it's just like saying long haul. So we forego those 401ks and RAs because we think, this is not going to get me to where I need to be fast enough. But as we're doing that, years has passed by.
Yes.
I always tell people, just give 10, 15, just get started. And then next year, look at it. You were like, whoa, I want to put in more, because you see that traction is now gaining. And now you want to multiply those factors of what you're gaining and what you put in your account to be greater. So I do want to say that, because I give Chris Hogan a lot of credit for some of the things that they did on the survey. So can you tell us the difference between a Roth and a what's a traditional?
That's traditional.
Tradition.
You got it.
So what's the difference? Explain the difference and how the tax stuff works out on those.
Sure. And to be honest, the bottom line is, do you want to pay taxes now, or do you want to pay taxes later? So that's the primary difference between the two, without going too deep in the weeds. So from a traditional side of the house, if you want to have less money being accounted for as taxable dollars. So you've ever looked at your W-2 and you're like, okay, this block says I made this money, but this block says I made less. So which one counts? The one that has the lesser amount accounts for dollars that went to your health plan, your vision, dental, and your 401k, traditional side. So the IRS is turning a blind eye to those dollars right now, because you're not paying taxes on those dollars. However, at withdrawal, you're going to pay taxes on those dollars. So your $1 million may not really be $1 million, because as you withdraw, you're going to end up having to pay taxes either right then or come tax time when you file your taxes the following year.
Okay.
So always think about, when you're talking traditional, you're paying taxes later. So think, if you had the choice, would you prefer to pay taxes now, or would you prefer to pay taxes in your retirement? Which is where the Roth comes in. So the Roth is allowing you to be able to invest after tax dollars. So the IRS sees this as you getting the money, you getting your paycheck, and then you turn around and put money back into your Roth IRA or your Roth 401k plan. So with that being said, these are now tax-free dollars in retirement. So you're paying taxes on, your income now, but as you withdraw, these are dollars you don't have to worry about paying taxes on.
Okay.
So that's exciting news.
Yeah, that's good.
But if all you have is traditional 401k, go for it. Do the match, MATCH. Do what you can as far as contributions, and then if you can, then find a financial professional and have them open you a Roth IRA. And in most cases, if you're not making too much money, in most cases you could have both. And so if you have an IRA, as long as you don't go over the maximum on the IRA, and then as long as you don't go over the maximum on the 401k, again, there's a cap of money that you can earn. But most of us, let's just put it out there, most of us ain't making that kind of money. So being able to do both would be absolutely helpful.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I was told that having both, that means you can, yes, both, because for tax reasons, that later on you don't want to pay all the taxes on everything. Pay some up front and then pay a little bit later. So a balance of both will help you keep some money in your pocket now, and then later on keep some money in your pocket, because you're paying taxes on both ends. Yeah.
So if I had to summarize it this way, if I have $1 million in the traditional, right? When I retire and I start drawing $1 million off, that $1 million may only net me, I'm just throwing a number out there, $875,000.
Right. Because of your ordinary tax bracket.
Right. Now, if I had the Roth and I had $1 million, when I draw it off, it's going to be worth $1 million.
That's all you.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
Because you paid your taxes up front.
Right.
That's correct.
So if you was doing both at a company, what percentage would you suggest to make it a balance of the two? More of one, even, or what?
I don't make those kind of broad recommendations because everybody's financial situation is different.
Okay.
My recommendation will always be for everybody, though, if you can do up to your employer's match, that is MATCH, if you can do that, do that. And then anything above and beyond, we could talk about what would be right from a tax perspective, from an incomes perspective. But the step number one is doing the MATCH. Whatever your employer will match you to, that's step number one. The other things can come later.
Right.
We got to get people to step number one. That's the step to be completed first before we start talking, intermediate and elevated stuff.
You got to get them thinking right. You got to get them doing
right.
Yes.
Right.
Which is, So, Rob, you have anything else you pop in your mind? You want to ask?
No.
Yeah.
No. Is there anything else that we need to know, Tina? I mean, anything else?
Get busy. Start saving. Get a plan.
Yeah. Let me also add this little nugget about the traditional side of investing. If you're going to invest all your money in traditional, because someone somewhere is saying, oh, well, I'm going to make less money or have less income in my retirement, so my ordinary income tax will absolutely be less. That's another myth. I've got clients who made more money sitting at home drinking lemonade on their back porch than going into work every day because of Social Security, along with the money that they are bringing out for their 401k, along with pensions. So don't assume that you'll have a lesser tax bracket in retirement. It's not all the way true in all cases. The second thing is, when you have all your dollars in traditional dollars, you can't keep that in traditional forever. The IRS will come for you because there is what's called a required minimum distribution. What that means, today at age 72, there's going to be a formula that your investment company will send you and say, hey, per the rules, you need to take out this much of your traditional investment account. If you don't take out that much that year, then the IRS can penalize you up to 50%.
What?
Because they have, remember, they have turned a
The
blind
taxes.
eye to
To the
those tax,
taxes.
right. They have been kicking the tax can down the road. The road, the end of the road, like Boyz II Men would say.
It's
Oh
here.
yeah, that is at 72 years old for retired, for required minimum distribution. So that
Wow.
is technically the end of the road. So you
Yeah.
have to start pulling those dollars out. Whereas Roth, on the other side, you've already paid taxes. The IRS isn't looking for you. They don't care anymore.
Yeah.
All that
Yeah.
growth opportunity is yours. And that's what's exciting about doing a Roth.
Wow.
Wow.
So have you seen during this pandemic a lot of people dipping into their 401k, and what are the penalties that come along with dipping in it before a certain age?
I have not seen a lot of dippage, if you will, the 401k, not since the pandemic. What I have seen, oh, just FYI, penalties. Yes, if you're under the age required to withdraw that money, then it is a 10% penalty. Know that. Also, whatever you withdrew is now also taxable income. Be aware of that.
Twice.
So, yes.
They get you
So
twice.
it is added to your income and you're going to get penalized. So just if your taxes can't handle that, or if your pocketbook can't handle that, your checking account can't handle writing that check, then we probably need not do that. But what I have seen is an increase of loans against the 401k, which is a great opportunity if and only if you're not leaving that organization anytime soon. The only reason why I bring that up is because the loan process is so easy. There's no credit check on a 401k. The second thing is the interest rates on loans within your 401k is at all-time low. If you go to your favorite credit union or your favorite bank, I guarantee you ask for a loan for a particular amount. I'm talking about outside of a mortgage, car loan, or even a personal loan. That interest rate will be higher, even if your credit score is A1, than your 401k loan. So a lot of times the payments are also less because the interest rates are less. And those payments are taken out of your check. You can't mess that up either. So I've had some clients that have taken great advantage. I mean, we've rolled from high interest loans, high interest car debt, high interest credit cards. We've gotten a 401k loan as low as 0.625% last year. My clients were killing it. And we've had savings, 700. I think the one my client saved the most, $900 a month in savings.
Wow.
Could you imagine, going from paying this much and now you're paying $900 less a month? Think about what you could do with that money. That's money that you can open your 401k with or open your IRA with. That's money you can save. I mean, it's opened so many doors. So, if you're thinking about withdrawing, don't consider doing a loan, but talk with a financial professional about the best ways to go about it before you make any moves like that. So absolutely. My clients, we were killing it last year, getting our clients some savings. I was really super excited about my clients' opportunities to save money every month.
Wow. Well, you are very diverse in your information and your knowledge. I love the way you deliver information. And we do appreciate you in this partnership that we want to, I guess we can call, doing the podcast.
Yes.
We love
Let's
inviting
do
you
that.
back. We love inviting you back. So I guess I know you have somewhere to go to support your family. Go to the kickoff game. So we won't hold you very long. So you want to go ahead and wrap this thing up by telling us a little bit about your websites, and of course you can always find it on the Podbean and also our website, which I give out. Robin does a great job doing the quick synopsis or quick description of you and all your links and stuff. So it's always there. So if you can't catch it here, because you're gonna say it fast, we'll definitely post it on our website and also Podbean.
Absolutely. You can always reach me at thefinancialtea.org. That is TheFinancial, the letter T.org. You can hit me up on my website. There's a contact me button there. There's also an opportunity to sign up for our newsletter, and also an opportunity for you to purchase an autographed copy of my book, It's Your Turn, Walk in Your Financial Purpose. If you're on the gram, if you're on Twitter, if you're on Facebook, I am at The Financial T. That is at The Financial T. On the gram, it is the THE_financial, FINANCIAL_T. But if you want to see me, I'm on LinkedIn, the gram, Facebook, Twitter, and even on YouTube at The Financial T.
So basically, what she's saying, she got all the social media platforms.
I'm everywhere.
Yeah. And like I said, I know she was gonna say it fast. I told y'all that, but we will post it on Podbean. But we really do a good job posting on our website. You just click on Financeology 101 podcast, and you will see it on our website. And we also are out there also in the social media. You can find us on Facebook, of course, at facebook.com/gifted Gen LLC. Of course, as she says, we're on the Instagram. We can be found at gift.gen. YouTube, we also have on YouTube. Just do a search for Gifted Generations LLC. And of course, our website, which is Gifted Generations with an S LLC.com. And we always say, don't forget that dash. Yeah, got to get that dash. And the most important thing is that we have an app out there. It's called Bags of Money. What it's about? We help improve lives by improving one's personal finance with Tina and also us. We remove the stress from the everyday financial management. So this app can actually predict. It's out on Android right now. We're working hard to get it on Apple. Lord Jesus Christ, pray right now. We're working hard to get it on Apple. But the app can actually predict, once you put in your income and your expenses, it can project what your balance would be on any given day. So once you get your income in, your expenses in, and you want to say, how much money am I going to have 3 weeks from now? You click on that date, it's going to tell you, based on your spending habits, you're going to have this much in your account. Or it can say, you're going to be short in your account. So it all depends on what you put in, tracking your expenses, tracking your income. It can do a great job predicting from 1 day, 1 week, 1 year. So go out there and get the app on Android right now. Like I said, it's coming out on Apple. We're working hard to get that thing on Apple. And once we're done, we're going to brand like crazy. So there you go. Now, as they say in the news, back to you, Robin Seegers.
Well, that's another session of Gifted Generations presents Financeology 101. Thank you, Tina.
Thank you for having me again, guys. Thank
All right.
you.
All right. Take care. Bye-bye.
You as well.
Alrighty.
Thank you.
Well, thank you for tuning in to our podcast, Financeology 101. I hope you enjoyed this session and the information provided will assist you on your financial journey. Until next time, be financially engaged.